DJ Genesis, Detroit. Truth in the algorithm. Welcome to the live stream.
Yeah, live stream junkie with the mic turned on, breaking down the matrix while the lights stay on. Politics, religion, yeah, we question every claim, while the media playing narratives and shifting every frame. Ancestors speaking through the wisdom of Ifa, cosmic knowledge shining like a distant star. From Detroit to the world on a digital stage, dropping truth bombs every time I hit the page.
Welcome to the channel where the truth get deployed.
Yeah, DJ Genesis live from Detroit.
Breaking down the system, every lie gets destroyed. Yeah.
Tap in, subscribe, you rocking with the voice.
Yeah, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, where the truth get deployed.
Yeah. DJ Genesis live from Detroit. Yeah.
Breaking down the system, every lie gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Tap in, subscribe, you rocking with the voice.
Yeah, debates on fire, got the comments going crazy. Asking questions that the system can't face me. From ancient civilizations to the modern day lies, connecting dots that they hide from the public eye.
Knowledge of self, yeah, the ancestors guide. When the full moon rising for the spiritual tide.
This the place where the truth gets exposed.
Every live stream, another chapter unfolds.
To the channel. Yeah. Welcome to the channel where the
truth get deployed.
DJ Genesis live from Detroit.
Breaking down the system, every lie gets destroyed. Tap in, subscribe, you rocking with the voice.
DJ Genesis, Detroit. Truth seekers unite, 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 unite. Stay away, stay away, stay away. Stay questioning.
Welcome, and we're back at it. So no longer than I stopped the video I was doing discussing Trump's crazy, erratic, threats against Iran. There's a change. So Donald Trump, he have decided to pull back based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Hashim Munir of Pakistan. And wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran, the subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I agreed to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. For the reason of doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We reached a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it's a workable basis in which to negotiate. Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America as president and also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem closed to resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. Why is this on Twitter? Why didn't he address the people why is things on Twitter though? I don't get this whole Twitter thing. Why is Twitter being used as like the official announcement for a ceasefire? I don't understand what's happening here. This should be more official than a tweet. You understand what I'm saying? Where is the press conference? You're the president of the United States. Why are you tweeting out this whole thing? This is crazy. I don't understand where to go from here with this whole thing. It's just really strange. I don't get it. I don't think it's reasonable. I don't think it doesn't make any sense that we are supposedly one of the most powerful nations in the world, and our president is communicating with its people via tweet. Let's go.
We have breaking news at this hour. Donald Trump has backed down and he has agreed to a 2-week ceasefire, ending his threat to commit war crimes, to essentially commit genocide in Iran. In a post this evening, Trump says that he has agreed to a ceasefire that will last for a period of 6 weeks. And some are saying that this is just Taco Tuesday once again. At the same time, this hasn't stopped lawmakers from calling for Trump's removal. It has now exceeded 70 lawmakers, and articles of impeachment have already been filed this evening. This is just happening in real time. I have all the latest for you. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The more you like, the more people see this. Subscribe to my Substack to support my work. Thank you all who have done so today. Kept me caffeinated, kept me going. I want to show you what Donald Trump posted this evening. Quote, based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives, and we are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We have received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate.
But didn't they already have this 10-point proposal already submitted? Like, why is this the first time he's hearing this? Isn't this didn't they been submit this proposal? The hell is going on?
Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America, as President of the United States and representing the countries in the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem close to resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Some are saying tonight is Taco Tuesday because the president is backing down from yet another one of his threats. It is like clockwork. He makes these large, bombastic threats, in this case, to wipe out a civilization, a genocidal threat. And just hours later, he says, we're going to pause. We're going to pause. Now, what's interesting here, we don't know just yet, is because is this a ceasefire between the United States and Iran? Does this include Israel? Because right now, as I'm speaking, there were missiles launched from Iran to Israel. When does this ceasefire take effect? Does it take effect immediately? Does it take effect when the Strait of Hormuz is opened? Who else is involved? There are plenty of questions that still have to be answered.
I mean, someone says Iran has won this conflict by the fact they are still standing and the U.S. is conceding to Iranian demands. They did, but Trump thought he could bully Iran. And honey, you should have seen the United Nations or whatever it was. They was up there. Russia was talking. It was not. That's not what's up, bro. What are you doing?
Tonight, but at least right now, Donald Trump says we have a 2-week ceasefire. We have a deal in place. Let's see how long this deal lasts. And let's see if in 2 weeks, on April 21st, we're in this exact same position once again. But I will tell you this, it has not stopped lawmakers from calling for Trump's removal. Tonight,
boom. Larson files articles of impeachment, calls for the 25th Amendment as Trump becomes more unhinged. John R. Lawson, announced that he has filed articles of impeachment to remove Donald Trump from office as the president becomes more unhinged and risks the lives, safety, and security of the American people. Larson is also calling for the cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment as Trump escalates his illegal war and threatens to annihilate an entire civilization. This is embarrassing on a global scale. Donald Trump has blown past every requirement to be removed from office, and it's getting worse. His illegal war in Iran is not only driving up prices for American families, it has cost American lives, said Larson. He's becoming more unstable by the day. I showed you guys. Earlier. Right, get him out. He's crazy. Exactly. But I showed y'all earlier in my earlier thing when I first heard about this. This is what's happening right here.
The president said he doesn't know that people are calling for his mental health to be examined because the people closest to him keep information from him as a memory care patient strategy. I'm a physical therapist with a doctorate in my field and 14 years experience working in home health care, treating geriatric patients with dementia, like that motherfucker.
Yesterday in your Truth Social, you called the Iranians crazy bastards.
True.
What is your response to critics who say that...
I don't care about critics.
What is your response to critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues?
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case, you're going to have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything, for many years until I came along. So if that's the case, you're going to have more people.
First of all, he cares deeply about what critics say. He's been manually marking up news articles for 40 years. He will call media outlets since the 80s and correct them on what they got wrong in an article that was positive towards him, because he is a malignant narcissist. Now, he says he hasn't heard any of that kind of talk, but that's because the people closest to him curate the information that actually gets to him, in the same way that all of his information about the war in Iran comes from a 2 to 3 minute montage video, Call of Duty style, 360 no-scope stuff. He doesn't actually know about casualties. He doesn't actually know the full story about the 2 pilots that were just rescued, thank God. This is a memory care patient strategy. You choose when you give these kinds of people confrontational or difficult truths, because it might set off their agitation, and then they will become impossible to deal with. I believe we're within a 16-day window where he will either leave the land of the living, or they'll be forced to impeach, invoke the 25th, or Article 2, Section 4. This absolute fucktwat. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Let's continue with this. All right, from Rep John B. Larson. People across my district know he is unfit to lead and are calling for impeachment, while Republicans in the majority have so far failed to uphold their constitutional responsibility to initiate impeachment proceedings. That does not absolve others of their duty. Members of the cabinet and those closest to the president can act immediately, continued Larson. They have an obligation to put patriotism over politics and invoke the 25th Amendment. Donald Trump is unable or unwilling to faithfully execute the responsibilities of the office, and he is putting the nation's security and economy in jeopardy. In Congress, I will continue to help build a clear and undeniable record of Donald Trump's corruption, high crimes, and violations of the Constitution, so that when the moment comes, whether it in this Congress or the next, we are prepared to act decisively and uphold the rule of law, Larson concluded. So we have this is on a work. People are watching this. Hey, what's up, Barack Drama?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm just listening, but if you want to talk, I'll listen and then I'll say something.
Okay, so I was reading the rest of this thing. Did y'all get to hear it? People across my district know that he's unfit. Did y'all get to hear that part? Or I saw.
Yeah, we heard you. We already knew that before you said it, but we heard you.
Right, they're looking for impeachment. So this to me is insane. Like, what's happening is embarrassing across the board. 100%. So let's go.
We are in the middle of a war, and instead of listening to his Pentagon, he has Pete Hegseth firing generals, and Kanks, Donald Trump, sits around and binge watches Fox News. There is a queen on Fox News named Jessica Tarlov, and she does just incredible work fact-checking and checking propaganda in real time. So a lot of these Fox viewers that have been so radicalized, the only time they ever hear a tinge of sanity is from Jessica Tarlov. And of course, Trump hates her. And in the middle of the war, he has...
But see, here's the thing. Isn't this already... See... a lot of the people that's put into Trump's cabinet, I believe, was put there because of looks. You know, Trump tends to seem like he's a misogynist. He likes to look, but it's not even based on the people that are surrounding him. It's not even based on any like kind of you know, what their you know, resume is. It's like, oh, okay, you did a show on this. Okay, you could be the new national security leader. You know what I'm saying? Like you was security for Walmart. You know, just like just throwing people into positions that they don't even deserve, they're not even fit to be in, just to have everybody like on his side. And now there's, it seems like they are managing a dementia patient, just like I said earlier, that he is suffering some form of a dementia. And everybody wants to pretend like this is not happening, you know. And meanwhile, everybody in the world, I mean, he's threatening like some type of a genocide against people. What is going on? What we gonna say, Barack? You have something to say?
Yeah, what you're not understanding is not you personally, but some people don't understand is nobody on his team is gonna call him out if they think he's wrong, because he has a dictator, I'm the smartest man in the room mindset, and people don't want to burn that bridge, so they ride along with him. That's what people got to understand. And then people that challenge him, like for example, what's that lady name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Am I saying her name right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was so MAGA, and then as soon as she's a perfect example, and then as soon as she has a falling out with him or disagreement, all of a sudden she's public enemy number one. That's how he is. So until he has that mindset to, like, you know, when I'm wrong, people call me on it, instead of having like yes men around him. They don't. He's almost like Michael Jordan. I don't know if you follow basketball, but Michael Jordan had a falling out with Charles Barkley because when Jordan owned the basketball team, he was making a lot of bad decisions, and he didn't like people that challenged him. And Barkley had called him out on it, and now all of a sudden they're not friends. So that's how, like, a lot of rich and powerful people, they have that mindset. Kind
of like mindset.
Yeah, they have that mindset. Tell me
nothing. I'm, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if people realize that. Like they always have to be the smartest man in the room. They always have to be humble. They always have to be right. They're never wrong, and they don't admit nothing. That's just how some of them are built. I'm not saying everybody is like that, but that's common. That's a common mindset in that culture. And
I don't know whether he probably gonna say, you know, he's gonna probably say, well, since I made the announcement, oil prices have gotten that lower, because you know what happened is that once he withdrew his threat, the oil prices went down. You know what I'm saying? So he'll probably say, that's what the plan was. The whole goal was to scare them enough to, because we need the oil.
Well, I don't know what's going on. Well, I haven't watched nothing since this morning. All I heard was 8:00 tonight. I guess Eastern, because I'm on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, and I haven't heard nothing. I don't see no news being interrupted on public TV. Basketball games coming on.
Are people even watching public TV still? Oh my God, I didn't know.
No, I'm saying the TV didn't. Usually, when something happens, they'll say breaking news. This has happened. They'll interrupt your program. They did that yesterday, but I don't see that. So I guess nothing's happening. It's just a bunch of
Oh no, they cleared that up, because honey, the UN was getting involved, Russia was getting involved. It was becoming a shitstorm. That's exactly what was happening. Let's go. Hold on, let's play a little more of this.
All right.
He's attacking her because he loves to attack women. Pop this up. Trump, for Fox executives only, take Jessica Tarlov off the air. She is, from her voice to her lies and everything else about her, one of the worst personalities on television, a real loser. People cannot stand watching her. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT. And just a couple of notes here. While the war is going on, Trump is watching Fox, you guys, just to make sure they stay on script. because this is a presidency that rules by propaganda, like all fascist autocrats do. And he's trashing Jessica Tarlov because she's one of the only dissenting voices on the network. So he has this massive, massive, massive insecurity. And anytime it's exposed, he lashes out, pumps.
You know, this truth, as it were, is the answer to the question I often ask myself about people surrounding him, not reining him in, keeping him on point, because he just goes fucking crazy if everybody doesn't agree with him all the time. It's really, really sick.
But how much of this is narcissism and how much of this is dementia? I mean, how many people really think that he's having dementia? Or is he in his right mind and people think it's dementia, but because people do seem kind of scared of him in his cabinet. Like, what's really happening here?
He's 99% narcissism and maybe 1% dementia. Because I'm not a doctor, but I had a relative that had dementia, and she never acted nothing like he is. He's 100%, almost 100% narcissist.
Because this is what people are saying.
The President Trump this really is bluster. I do not want to see us start blowing up civilian infrastructure. I do not want to see that. We are not at war with the Iranian people. You know, we are trying to liberate them.
Ron, he has dementia, buddy. He's not in the reality that the rest of us occupy. He has behavioral variant frontotemporal dementia, his frontal lobe, where we all reality test the situations in front of us. It's shrinking inside of his skull. He doesn't know the truth about the war in Iran. He'll never know. And if he forgets it, he'll make up a lie to fill in the holes. Lies that he 100% believes. Like, we completely destroyed their air defense apparatus. Then they shot down several planes of ours. You are at war with Iran. You are. You must stop him. Or they will play that clip before they throw you in The Hague for war crimes, Ron. We're within a 16-day window where the momentum will shift and they will be forced to impeach 25th Amendment or Article 2, Section 4, the whole fucking thing. I'm pulling for Article 2, Section 4, to be honest. Holy shit. You hope and pray, Ron? What a fucking coward. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Well, we have to let you on. So if we so that guy is actually he actually works with dementia patients, so that's why he was talking about like the gait, how he walks, different things he's doing, slurping noises, all these things are supposedly like signs of dementia, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I don't know. He might be more of an expert than me, but the finest dementia, the first signs of dementia is in my opinion, is becoming forgetful. Trump just be lying. So I think it's different.
Right. But even what's his name? Joe Rogan and then the other guy, Alex Jones, are all like saying that there's something going on. That there's something happening here. You know, so
he's an 80-year-old man, so you know, I think he's too old to be in that job anyway.
Absolutely, and they were asking for a second term and told me I had Trump derangement syndrome because I was like, hell no.
No, he's I think once you get past your 60s, I don't know if you should be in that position. Only because of the stress.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. The same thing. Hallelujah.
But
now people are agreeing with me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I said that before him and Biden. But I gotta say though, the guy, for all they put him through, you know, he's a kind of a tough guy though. You know, because I don't think the men in his family lived that long. I think all his brothers died. I think he just got maybe a sister left. I think most of his siblings died. His older sister was a judge out in New York City. She passed away about a year or two ago. So he's definitely a tough cookie, but I just don't know if he should be in that job at 80 years old.
Exactly. You know, if you can't click the StreamYard link, just I'll keep it up here. Just type it into your browser and hit enter. You know, type in StreamYard, HTTPS StreamYard, VVU, because I don't know. Sometimes if you're in like the portrait or landscape, whatever live, you can't click it. I don't know why. So I'll keep it up here for anyone that wants to watch it, or wants to come up. But yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and I think we always have to remember, we cannot apply our logic to this man. You cannot say, well, why aren't people reining him in? By design, he has surrounded himself with loyalists. Scholars have taught us that autocrats and dictators, specifically by design, surround themselves with loyalists. That's why you see all of this purging. The deep state that they spoke about during the campaign, those were nonpartisan government workers, people that wanted health insurance, wanted a steady job. Government seemed like a good employer, couple weeks of vacation. All of these people have been purged and replaced with loyalists. And, we also have to give credit to Jessica Tarlov because she sits next to Jesse Waters all hour. I mean, I don't know how she does it. Okay. And then here is a screen grab from Fox coverage on the war. Pop this up. This is Fox Digital. Iran war nears completion as Trump eyes deadline. What the end game could look like. U.S. strikes hit one of Iran's largest bridges this week as Trump warns much more to follow. So this is just their online reporting, all right? Nothing about the batshit crazy press conference that we saw yesterday. Nothing. We don't hear anything about that from Fox News.
Hello?
I'm up here talking and you can't hear me. How do you threaten such a harsh thing and just pull out like that?
Well, what happened? Did he pull out? I didn't hear nothing.
All right, well, let's go. You didn't hear how he was threatening and then just pulled out nowhere. Okay, well.
I didn't hear the pull out. I heard the threat.
The entire Iran 10-point system that they already had given him as the reason. Like, what is this about?
No, he said if they didn't do his plan, he was gonna try to wipe them out of existence. That's the last I heard. I didn't hear nothing else.
Well, that was supposed to happen at 8:00 tonight, but then he came to a ceasefire. Watch this.
Go Tuesday again because Donald Trump just folded. He has completely backed off his threat to Iran and has announced a 2-week ceasefire with more details included in his Truth Social post. And honestly, I think we kind of all saw this coming. His threats were incredibly gross and egregious, but this is a pretty consistent pattern with Donald Trump where he says something outrageous that is completely unreasonable and then ends up folding because of the public backlash. And that's exactly what happened here today as well. And this photo, which is truthfully very difficult to look at, very hard to look at, is already going viral. It's Taco Tuesday. Trump always chickens out, and the cycle has repeated itself once more. So I'm going to get into the statement that Donald Trump put out announcing this ceasefire, and without further ado, let's get into it. But please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about Trump folding. All of your support goes an incredibly long way into pushing back against Donald Trump and supporting Gen Z media. And without further ado, let's start here, which is the statement that Donald Trump put out this morning that really caused a lot of outrage, rightfully so, because he was threatening a genocide against the people of Iran. These are people who did not want this war. They are not combatants. And yet Trump was saying they're going to be part of whatever strike he is looking to do. He woke up angry.
They did not want the war. They were trying to resolve it before it even happened. But for some reason, we end up striking them anyway. They had let people know they were not going to use nuclear bombs. They were doing everything to try to avoid it. And then we still strike them because, I don't know. I'm not sure if Israel got in, but I don't know. It's just crazy.
It doesn't look good though.
It looks stupid. We look like a bunch of idiots.
He posted this at 8 a.m. saying a whole civilization will die tonight, but never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. And as I said earlier today on the show, he was threatening to wipe out the entire country of Iran while simultaneously at the end saying, God bless the people of Iran. It's just, interesting messaging from the president of the United States. And then after this statement, there was universal condemnation of Trump. I mean, Republicans and Democrats coming out and saying the 25th Amendment needs to happen. He needs to go. Matter of fact, there were over 70 House Democrats calling for Trump's impeachment and removal, or also removal via the 25th Amendment. And that list.
Man, child. So can you imagine you put a thing out like that, then all of a sudden everybody hits you, impeach his ass? How embarrassing on a global stage is this for the president of the United States for this to happen?
But how many Republicans spoke out?
Well, they said 70. Let's see.
Is here. You can see the different names, and the list is long, and it was continuing to grow by the hour. There's also some senators down there, Senator Markey and Senator Wyden, who joined the calls as well. So there was a lot of public pressure on Donald Trump to, not engage in this genocide of the Iranian people. And that brings us to the taco, the fold from Donald Trump. He just posted this statement moments ago, 6:32 p.m., April 7th. And he said, based on conversations with leaders in the region that he has been talking to, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to complete an immediate and a safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. He added that this will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we've already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America as president and also representing the countries of the Middle East, which I don't know how he's representing them, but regardless, it is an honor to have this long-term problem come close to a resolution. Thanks for your attention to this matter. Signed, Donald J. Trump. Now, I have a lot of thoughts about this statement that I imagine you do too, but I want to reiterate that this is, I think what a lot of people expected with Trump, that he was inevitably going to fold. And to be clear, I don't think Donald Trump is folding because he's concerned about the loss of life in Iran or the destruction to the region and the possible use of a nuke, which was floated earlier today in conversations with people behind the scenes and also just, interpreting his message. I don't think he's concerned with the destruction. I think he's concerned with his own approval rating going down. And I think he's concerned with, the Republicans who are adding in on turning on Donald Trump, that we're kind of joining in as well. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a notable example of that, calling for the 25th Amendment to be used against Donald Trump. So I think that's his main motivation here. It's not, I'm concerned about the destruction. It's not that he wants peace in the Middle East. It's always me with Donald Trump. Having said that, I think we have to be very cautious about what Donald Trump said in this Truth Social post. And what I mean by that is, how many times has Donald Trump announced a deal with China or Canada or whatever it might be, just for the deal to be completely fictitious, not exist, or exist, and any of the details he described about it were not present in the deal whatsoever. I mean, he does it all the time, where he'll just lie about the actual deal struck. And so when Donald Trump is saying that this deal that apparently has come together in a matter of hours establishes long-term peace in the Middle East, which has evaded leaders all around the world and presidents for, as long as it's been going on, I'm very doubtful. I think that
sounds like he might be not telling the full. Or he might be adding a little stank on it. They probably said, listen, just give us some time and we'll figure something out. You know what I'm saying? But he got to make it seem like he's about to make peace in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? He's the one, And I mean, I get what he's saying. It just doesn't sound all the way like it's just, I don't know if we can believe that.
He looks like a weak leader now.
Yeah, he does. And then at the same time, when you have your whole cabinet, check this out.
One congressman has officially filed articles of impeachment against Donald Trump, also calling for the 25th Amendment. John Larson, in a new press release, announced that he has filed articles of impeachment to remove Trump from office as the president becomes more unhinged and risks lives, safety, and security of the American people. Larson is also calling on the cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Quote, Donald Trump has blown past every requirement to be removed from office, and it's getting worse. His illegal war in Iran is not only driving up prices for American families, it has cost American lives. It's becoming more unstable by the day. His profane and sacrilegious Easter Sunday and subsequent threats, including a whole civilization will die and open the strait or you'll be living in hell, not only foreshadow war crimes, but put our security at risk. So he has now filed articles of impeachment. He follows a list of 70 lawmakers: Ansari, Omar, Pocan, Tlaib, Getty, Senator, Stansbury, Tana, Frost, Julie Johnson, Olszewski, Ramirez, Nikema Williams, Moulton, Presley, Summerlee, Magaziner, McBride, McCollum, Swalwell, Ricardo, Dexter, Ocasio-Cortez, Robert Garcia, Menendez, Castro, McLean Laney, Fletcher, Simon, Watson Coleman, Mike Thompson, Hayes, Fushi, Richie Torres, Sylvia Garcia, Leger Fernandez, Ingrid, Tonto, Lofgren, McGarvey, Dan Goldman, Espaillat, Desaulnier, Schakowsky, Cohen, Jacobs, Trahan, Gomez, Grijalva, Sanchez, Matsui, Takuda, Bonacci, I think.
That's a lot of people just in the Senate.
Yeah, but that's all Democrats. But why is he? That don't even make sense. How many Republicans?
I don't know. I got to look that up. But let's go.
Shoot, or not what will pass at 8 p.m. But what do you rule in the category of possible in about 3 hours and 15 minutes?
I think that Trump has lost his mind. He's not capable of being the president, and he should be removed using the 25th Amendment immediately. Separate of that, I don't trust anything that man or the people around him actually do. He has proven to be the most corrupt person to ever be president, the most criminal person to ever be president. He could care less about humanity or the destruction of another country.
Now, there was an interesting point. I'm going to show you this video right now of Major General Randy Manner, who spoke to MS Now, who suggested that today commanders rejected Pete Hegseth's orders to conduct strikes on civilian targets.
That many targets that were recommended by the Secretary of Defense were rejected by CENTCOM, that they were civilian targets. It is something where, again, I don't have firsthand knowledge, it's secondhand knowledge, but I believe that people are already saying no to the hierarchy. The CENTCOM command.
All right, so as of now, it's saying that 0 Republicans, they stayed silent.
Exactly. That's my point. Is I don't even, to me, him reading that off was moot. Just say the Democrats voted for him. My thing is what Republicans and what was their name, and there was none. So what he's saying is like scripted. We already knew that.
So are you agreeing? So here's a question. Are you agreeing that Trump, that you think that with this is what should happen? This everything that he's doing? And that because Republicans are staying silent, that is because that's a good thing, or what do you think?
No, I'm alliterating what I said earlier. They side up, even if they're wrong, they side up with him, whether he's right or wrong. So I didn't understand the guy's point of reading what the Democrat. All of the Democrats are going to say that what he just said. I'm looking for what the Republicans are saying. I would have cut it short if I was there with him. Listen, I don't need you to read to me what Democrats are against them. I need you to read to me what maybe independents or what Republicans against them. And he couldn't do it. I would have killed this whole conversation because what he's saying, it almost doesn't make sense because we already knew that.
Yeah, it's obvious that he's Republican, so they're going to be on his side because they want to get voted for or they don't want to get kicked out.
Exactly.
That's what they're pretty much trying to say is that, people are afraid to say anything. Let's go.
But I'm saying he didn't have to
be some agreement to open the Strait of Hormuz and allow ships to go through. The United States will stop bombing Iran, but are they going to give up their uranium to the United States? Probably not. Are they going to give up their missiles? Probably not. Are they going to do any of the main things that Donald Trump was requesting? Probably not. And also, final main point, I think, for me is that, he's saying that we are close to, agreeing, or at least are close to our military objectives being succeeded, that we've won. We've achieved everything we want to achieve, which is just objectively false when you look at any metric of this war, because Iran is still shooting missiles at our bases. Americans are still being injured. They still have a missile program. They are still doing all these things. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed, meaning that we haven't decimated them like Donald Trump said was part of his deal. And there's no mention, as you'll notice in this Truth Social post, or really of any of it in the media, of their uranium. Where's the uranium? right? I mean, this was something that Donald Trump talked about as the war went on. He kept giving different justifications for this war, but he also said, we want their uranium. We want to make sure they never have a nuclear weapon. And there is no mention of that in this deal. He just said the Strait of Hormuz is opening and we're going to stop firing missiles and it's going to be a ceasefire for 2 weeks. That's all he said specifically. None of the other stuff that he claimed to want to achieve in Iran has been achieved whatsoever, or at least not as part of the statement. And I don't imagine that Iran is actually going to turn over their uranium or anything like that. But the good...
Well, at least there's a ceasefire, I guess.
No, but I'm saying this guy, his news is a waste of time because you're not really learning anything. He's just saying the Democrats are against them and the Republicans are with him. That's all he's saying.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying. He hasn't said anything. At least I didn't hear anything.
Well, one thing he's saying is that there's a ceasefire, that Trump made an announcement and then backed down.
No, I saw that. Like I said, I saw it. I didn't do no, I should have said it before I opened my mouth. I didn't do no fact check, and I did see that. What he said, I did see that on social media from unreliable sources, but people, I don't know what it is with people. When you put out something you hear, they always want you to fact check. I said, it's not my job to do that. I'll just say I was on social media and this is what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
So so while all this was going down, this is what was going down at the UN. So while Trump was issuing his threats, this is what they were saying at the UN. Let's go.
Hostilities with our neighbors. The fact is very clear that we are targeting the U.S. bases, U.S. interest, and U.S. assets in reciprocal action. In response to the representative of the United States, I only want to refer to some remarks of the U.S. president, which has initiated this war of aggression against Iran. On 21st of March, the threatened to create Iran's power plant. On 30th of March, he escalated these threats, going to blow up and completely obliterate critical infrastructure, including power plants, oil facilities, Hark Island, and desalination installation. On 1st April, he declared his intention to bring Iran back to the Stone Age, explicitly threatening to strike all electric generating facilities. On 5th of April, he again openly threatened to target civilian infrastructure, stating that Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day. There will be nothing like it. And 2 days resorted to a language that is not only deeply responsible, but profoundly alarming, declaring that the whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back. Such rhetoric is unfitting of any political leader, let alone the head of a permanent member of the council entrusted with the maintenance of international peace and security. Iran will take all necessary measures to defend its people, safeguard its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and protect its vital national interest with full resolve. The United States and the Israeli regime will bear responsibility for all subsequent consequences, regional and international. Thank you. In the name of God, the compassionate and merciful, thank you, Mr. President. I congratulate Bahrain's presidency for this month.
I can't understand nothing he's saying.
talking. I've been talking this whole damn time. All right. So what I was saying is, even in the hood, any hood you know, if you have a pistol, you don't pull it without popping it. Now I get it. This is like war.
President not named Donald J. Trump.
It's war and it's presidents and it's all this other stuff. So what's happening is that you have like this whole get everybody all riled up, and then why not like make that threat to them directly and then have that talk? Why is it to get everybody riled up, make you look stupid as hell on the whole world stage, and then back up and say, oh no, hey, 10-point plan? Because what I'm understanding is that there was already a 10-point plan. Iran already had the 10-point plan. This is not a new plan that they came up with as the reason to stop the whole and cease the fire. They already had that. So to say that, there's a 10-point plan, and so now we're not fixing to do it, it's like they're playing on the public's emotions. It's a psychological operation.
But what they should have did was he shouldn't have said nothing and just bombed them.
Right. Trump, look, it said Trump folding chairs coming soon. Trump Kehlani folded. Like, you know what I'm saying? So come pick up your room.
I wish he would, instead of spending that money in the war, I wish he would send the money to the average American.
Right. How many billions? And here's the thing. The government's still shut down.
Oh, they didn't know.
The government's still shut down. ICE agents and stuff are running the airports now. People, all the TSA agents ain't getting paid. So now they done replace them with ICE agents. I mean, what are we doing here? Government's still in a shutdown. So I know you get it. Oh, okay. Well, the Democrats are all like, that. Who cares? We already know the Democrats are going to be against Trump and try to vote him out. Well, hell, they're trying to stop this whole money from going to ICE. They're trying to do a lot of things to try to stop all this, like this. It's like a faucet happening.
But the Democrats do the same thing. Biden sent all that money
in the Democratic. Listen, people always keep saying the Democrats doing the same thing. We're not in a Democratic regime right now. We're in a Republican regime. 2025 project. 2030 project. Like, please stop. Listen, every time we talk about like what's going on right now, everybody want to take a time machine back to some Democrat, Obama and Biden and all sort of stuff. Like, no, you know what? Bump all that. Right now, it's Trump and what he's doing right now. We don't listen. Every time we want to go. The last time I was doing this show, you had Pamela Lottoism talking about slavery.
Well, it depends on the subject.
Like, stop all this time machine back to the past. Right now, listen. We are in right now time. We can't go back and fix what Democrats did in the past, but what they are trying to do is fight against what's happening now. So we can't. Every time we talk about Democrats, I'm not a Democrat, by the way. But every time we talk about Democrats, we always got to go back to Biden. But the Democrats are doing things right now. So what's happening right now? Tell me something bad the Democrats are doing right now during Trump's administration that is ruining what should actually happen.
Well, they're not getting us neither side is getting reparations for us. Well, for me, I speak for myself when I say that. So I could blame both parties for that.
Man, listen.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
They're busy putting money into ICE, but who's putting money into ICE? All your reparations money is going to ICE right now, billions of dollars.
Exactly.
That's where your reparations is. So who's to blame for that? Is that the Democrats?
I blame both. I say both.
I say both as well. I think that whole reparations thing is like, you can websites. You can like actually find out where the land is that your family owned. It's called the BLM. I forget, it's something. The business of land management. Go on there, find out who your family was, and you can like find out what their land they own, and you can actually get your reparation. You get your 40 acres and your mule, but you just got to do the research. But this whole like reparations thing, we're in a situation where people are talking nuclear holocaust, and we're still talking reparations. That's how behind we are. It ain't gonna be no reparations if they blow this sucker up. These people are thinking about annihilating an entire genocide of people. And then if we do that to them, guess what happens to us over here? Then now we're a prime target, and we want to talk about some money.
Well, I think the whole war talk is exactly what it is. Talk.
Listen, they not even passing healthcare reform and healthcare bill. Reparations is the last thing on the table right now. What are we talking about? We're trying to pass. They're trying to just get past like regular healthcare.
Well, it's not just for me. It's not just
that. Like on the totem pole of what's important right now, reparations is probably like second to last. All the things that they're trying to pass in Congress that they're fooling around with, reparations is like not even like
important to who? When you say important
to Congress.
Okay.
You're talking about reparations. They're talking about listen, they just made DEI to where a company can't even hire Black women, veterans. Like, if they are willing to throw their own women underneath the bus, you think they give a fuck about giving us reparations?
I know.
And then every time we talk about Democrats, y'all want to just say, "Oh, y'all the Democrat," but the Democrats right now are the ones that are fighting to impeach this president that's trying to throw us in a nuclear holocaust. So, but like, let's not go back into Biden and Obama and damn Clinton era presidents. Right now, we are in the Trump era. Let's deal with reality. What's happening right now?
Well, I don't have no confidence in any of them, no matter who's in office doing what I want them to do. That's why I'm really...
We always try. Every time we talk about, we say Democrats, everybody want to go back to Biden, but the Democrats are in office right now doing stuff. What are they doing right now? They're trying to impeach who? Trump. Why? Because Trump is acting a fool. Okay, so you're saying it's not going to happen, but what I'm trying to say is that Trump is out here acting a fool, and the Democrats are trying to impeach him. They are not trying to pass laws giving more money to ICE agents, and after they got billions of dollars already, they're trying to pass medical stuff, Medicaid, and things like that for human beings, people to live. But we want to still talk about Biden and Kamala. Honey, they lost. They're gone. Now we're in Trump. This is what's happening now. That's the problem. Is everybody, when they talk about Democrats, they want to go teleport back to the past in a time machine. No, the Democrats at this very moment are in Congress trying to enact change, but you have so many people against them. What they're trying to do to try to get some equilibrium, that they want to always talk about Biden and talk bad about the Democrats, but the Democrats are how many Republicans did it? Well, honey, they're going to be behind their president because they voted for that president, but the Democrats are trying to say, no, get him up out of here. Man, he's doing too much. What are we doing here? Why are we?
But if they're doing something you don't like, I'm speaking for myself. I call them out. There was things Biden. I voted for Biden and Kamala, and I'm not necessarily a Democrat, but I based off the issues. But there was things that Biden.
Did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for Trump? Is that why?
I wouldn't. No, I'm a New Yorker. I know too much about Trump that has nothing to do with politics. I don't think I would ever vote for him. Because he lives in my state. You know what I mean? He lives in my city. His kids went to school about a mile from my house.
I know people from New York that'll be like, well, Trump is responsible for the New York skyline and all this other crazy stuff.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
I hear plenty of New Yorkers like loving Trump, you know?
But when you ask them, you know how I kill a lot of arguments? What has he done? And I said this about not just him, with any politician. What has he or she done specifically that you benefited from? And half the time I hear crickets. When I ask Democrats, and I'm not just gonna pick on the Republicans, when I ask Democrats, what did you get when Obama or when Biden was in office? And you hear crickets. So I don't just paint
when Obama was, well, you know what, I was getting government contracts and all type of stuff. I mean, I was doing pretty good when Biden and Obama was in office, but I'm not like a rich person, so.
But let me ask you this.
Those programs that they had, I needed the program, so I needed the welfare and the help and everything like that in the household.
I needed help from them too. I just never got it. My union, we're about 100,000 deep. The union I'm associated with, we campaigned for him. And then to me, in my opinion, when he got in office, and this is just my opinion, the community that benefited the most to me was like the gays, the lesbians, whatever you want to call them. I don't feel.
Well, did they get more because they actually did
they didn't put in more work for him to get in office than I did. I just said we can't
not put in more work to get him in office, but you can't get mad at a group if they take advantage of the
No, I'm not mad at the group. I'm mad at who I try to get in office. And
did you like apply for all the benefits? Did you apply for all that stuff?
Yeah, and I was denied. I'm gonna give you an example. Can I give you one example?
Go ahead.
When what's that? We had a hurricane. I think it was Sandy in 2010, 2012, whatever year that was, and we had damage where in my area, and at the time he was the president, and back then it wasn't all this AI crap. When you called, you actually got a person. So the corporation that I was with, we actually got a person on the phone, and they gave us every song and dance. So while we couldn't get no FEMA on, telling us to call our insurance and this and that, and some people didn't have insurance or the insurance didn't cover. It was. I ain't gonna lie to you, Obama was a big disappointment for me.
So you're blaming Obama because the company that got the contract.
I'm just saying he was. I'm not blaming him individually. I'm just saying it was his administration. I got to go by the administration.
So what have you gotten now that Trump is? How much money have you made now that Trump?
I didn't apply for nothing with Trump, but I had nothing. I didn't apply for anything, but I got nothing from him either.
Okay, so why? So all right, I don't know, but you probably ain't going to get it for real now because anything dealing with black people or white or anything like minority is out the window now. Like now it's a definite like law that they cannot give you something based on. At least there you could apply for it, but now it's like, honey, they can't give you nothing based on like you being a minority or struggling or nothing like that because it's called DEI. So let me play this real quick because I want to really get into this.
During the Trump era, that oftentimes people miss really, really fucking big stories that are so big that they would actually take down any president not named Donald J. Trump. And so I have a great example of this here. Let me walk you through it. And this is from Midas Plus actually had this here. He's not grifting anymore. He's just taking it is the title. Fucking outrageous and highly illegal. Quote, Trump has grifted his entire life. Now he's just taking it. The State Department transferred $1.25 billion in foreign aid to Trump's Board of Peace, pulling $1 billion from international disaster assistance, $200 million from peacekeeping operations, and $50 million from international organizations. Money that Congress authorized for hurricanes and refugees moved without a congressional vote, so totally illegally, into a fund that Trump created by executive order and controls personally. When reporters asked the State Department about it, a spokesperson said they had nothing to announce at this time. The Board of Peace has one defining characteristic. Trump controls it forever. He named himself chairman for life. No audits, no transparency requirements, no conflict of interest rules. Countries pay $1 billion into a fund he runs to get a seat at the table. It has transferred nothing to Gaza, disclosed nothing about its spending, and received $1.25 billion of your disaster relief money without a word of explanation. When he leaves the White House, he keeps the fund. That's not a loophole. That's the design. So he's not grifting anymore. He's literally just taking it. This reminded me of, what was the other thing? He stole a bunch of money in some other cockamamie way too, right? I think he sued his own IRS and asked for like $100 billion or $10 billion or some shit like that. And what'll happen is they'll be like, oh, we'll only give you $100 million. right? And so his own government paying him like $100 million for fucking nothing. It's another way he's just robbing us blind. And then when he's called out on this stuff, he goes, I'm going to give it to charity. So I'm not even basically like stealing it because I'm just going to give it to charity. Total lie. Every time he says he's going to give something to charity, he never fucking does, right? But this is what this man is doing. He's so high in his own supply. He feels so above it all. He has a complete impunity in his own mind. So now he's just letting it all hang out. Now there's not even like the thing will be broadcast. He'll brag about committing the crime and then like won't even get talked about much. But
I mean, are you hearing this? I mean, is it just?
I believe him, but I don't know if that's fact. I'm not saying I don't believe him, but I'm not saying that I don't know that that's a fact.
Of course, it's opinion. Okay, it's opinion.
Oh, okay.
It's his opinion. It's the news. You know what I'm saying? It's well, when you see this going on, of course he's giving his opinion on what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Just like you're giving your opinion on. Well,
Yeah, but my opinion sucks to some people. I know that. I accept that.
I would say this. It seems to me that whenever Republicans get in office, everyone wants to focus on what the Democrat did before the Republican. Well, it was Clinton's fault. It was Obama's. No one wants to take accountability for what the laws that they're enacting right now.
I blame whoever was in office at the time. I blame Trump for most of the stuff.
Right. So why do we keep talking and going reminiscing back to like Biden and everything?
Because
when right now at this very moment, like everything that's happening has nothing to do with Biden. It has everything to do.
No, but I'm saying when they was in office, certain things I wanted and it was the same result. That's the only thing I'm saying. That's why I tell people it almost don't even matter who you vote for, because it seems like they're all corporate. Like you ever listen to a lady named Sabrina Salvanti?
I watch her all the time.
Well, she's one of my favorite. Like when she's on, like unless it's you, her. Like if there's a live one and it's you, her, Amanda Seals. I don't listen to nobody, and I got two computers. I might cut you on my TV and have her on my computer and have the other one on my phone. But I don't. Anyway, she always said that, and I never looked at it until I was listening to her, Savvy Sav, when she said they're all corporate. She's right about that.
Everything's corporate. It's all the same bird. That's why when people try to come in with that Democrat versus Republican, I'm like, it's the same thing. There's no difference. It's crackers with money that's running shit, and when one's in office, they might throw us some crumbs. The other one say, take the crumbs away, give it to the rich. That's all.
Right, I agree, because what I do is sometimes, like even you, there was times when you were like, I don't know if you were playing music or something, like 3 a.m. I cut you on and I was going to sleep. I like to do more listening than I do talking, because I feel if I'm the one talking, I ain't learning nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can't hear you. Sound like you're far away. Sound like you went in the kitchen.
No, I had to go to the bathroom.
All right, take your time.
I'm sorry, I had to pee. All this stuff make me drink beer, and my beer I'd be running through me. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I was saying that there was times a few weeks ago you was on like 3-4 in the morning on Eastern time. I don't know if it was music, and I just left my computer on all night and woke up, and I don't know if you had the bot chat on or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying like I just give you a few names of the diaspora. I like to listen to different points of views. Matter of fact, I bumped heads with the FBAs last night because they're trying to separate themselves from other people. I don't like that. They're like divisive. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, 100%.
I respect them as a group, but I don't agree with what they're doing. And
to be quite honest, all this stuff I believe is all connected. The FBA. I think it's interesting that while Africa is beginning to grow, FBA is trying to separate us from Africa. Meanwhile, Trump is trying to stop people from like actually being able to leave the country through the airports and stuff with the whole thing. Like there's all this like passport stuff. Passports are changing. all this stuff is connected in a weird behind way, you know?
Yep.
So to me, like anyone that is not focused on right now and only focused on the past is not paying close enough attention because like, and you're saying that these people aren't saying anything new, and I'm hearing a bunch of new things. I'm not like watching. I mean, and I do play Sabby Sab. If you watch any of my stuff, I will play Sabby Sabs. I love her content.
She's because she's independent. She calls the Republicans and she calls the Democrat. She don't side up with nobody if she don't agree with them, and that's how I am.
I tend to like certain like journalists because they tell more truth. When you start getting into the Republican news, they tend to be kowtowing to that whole like Trump like delusion. So I tend to like either like I would say that at least that these people are really telling like what's, I don't know, to me they're talking about what is exactly happening. But when I try to like, people would say you need to like watch more conservative stuff, and I try to watch it and I'm like, dude, these people sound like they are butt kissing, and I don't like all that like ass kissing white people, not white people, but like just for the sake of just putting down black people. And a lot of the black news people that like really talk into like that conservative space hate being black to me, Now Candace Owens has begun to like change her ways at first, but at first she was one of the main ones, like the critics of black people.
But she wouldn't. But you know what it was? They would her Tatum when they was on the live. They would never cam me up. I used to try to get cammed up like you do. They when they have a narrative. They're not gonna, when you don't follow that. That's one thing I learned about the content. If you don't go along with their narrative, they won't cam you up. What's them two brothers? Them two light skinned dudes. They was calling them coons. I forget their names.
The what you call brothers?
The Hodge twins, or whatever their names are.
Twins, yeah.
Yeah. I always wanted, because I got smoke. That's why I put the name Obama. Odrama, because I got the smoke. When they say something and they make a point, I got the smoke for that.
I'm too much of a community activist to come to be like down with anyone that's going to be putting down black people.
No,
you don't have Tariq Nasheed like the Democratic Shield. Either you're a Democratic Shield, a Cheddar, anything that have to do with blackness. If you're not 100% FBA, you're a shield, you're a tether, you're a this, you're a that, and all that name calling is bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah, because there was I forgot what I was gonna say. There was I was on somebody's live, and every time I disagree with them, they always had the
Oh, you must be a tether, right?
Yeah, call me out. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Before the 2020s, I never heard of a lot of these terms. I didn't know what a tether was, FBA, because I'm in New York.
It didn't exist before 2020.
Right. I'm in New York.
It started off with the ADOS movement, and then this guy made his own movement.
Who? Whatever his name is?
Trump derangement system syndrome caused homosexuality, or were they gay before TDS? Well, all those people that was like all those Republicans that was caught in like the Epstein files are not only homosexual, but they're also pedophiles. So yes, they were gay before TDS, and they were pedophiles combined. So yes, they were gay. Yes, there you go. There's your answer, sir. All right, so let's play the rest of this video right here.
But $1.25 billion specifically allocated by Congress for other things. He's stealing it and putting it in his Board of Peace. By the way, in his mind, he says the Board of Peace sort of overrides and supersedes the fucking UN. And he goes, me and all my, the corrupt authoritarians who also paid me $1 billion to get on this thing, we control everything. This is a mobocracy. Trump is just a mafia boss. He's a fucking cartel leader. He's part of a criminal syndicate. That's what it is. And just robbing the American taxpayers and going direct, just like his stealing of the hundreds of millions of dollars that he sold in Venezuelan oil
Hallelujah. Now let's get into the real deal. What president, in history has attacked a country for their oil, dismantled their whole, like, you know what I'm saying, regime, taking the oil and then stole it and put it into their own public personal trust or whatever, probably for his kids to get or whatever. What other did Obama do that? Did Clinton do that?
There's no way to prove
what
it.
Other presidents have done that?
They might have all done it, but there's no way to prove it.
No, they have not. That would be
I'm not saying
national
no.
news. But you know what? It's national news. Now Trump did it.
I never heard that. I just heard him say it.
You must be a Republican because you're trying to say that well, we just probably haven't heard of it. No, if Democrats did anything close to that, that shit would be national news. Because everything that Obama did wrong became news. He's a black guy. Anything he did wrong, he couldn't even shit. He probably couldn't even fart while he was a president. He had to be the most squeaky clean person. He couldn't ruffle no feathers. He was the most docile president that I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
This president right here has been like just roughhousing it, like just. And everybody want to say, well, I don't know. It could have been happening underneath the scenes.
Yeah,
it could have been. Honey, that would be national news. But this guy's doing it, and it take liberal media to like actually bring it out. So everybody want to say you're only putting out liberal stuff. Well, honey, they're the only ones that's telling the truth about what's going on.
No disagreement. But I'm just saying when, what they do behind closed doors, I don't have access to it.
Honey, listen, it don't matter whether you have access to. You didn't have access to the fact that he had stole all this oil for his own family. Did you know this before?
I heard the rumors, but
you heard the rumors. Okay, you heard about it. Okay, yeah. So you don't think that you would have heard the rumors if Barack did the same thing? It wouldn't have been a rumor. It would have been public because he's a nigga.
Yeah, well, they say.
I don't care if he's cut and got a little cut on him with his cracker mom. He's a nigga. He's a black man. He looked black. If he did anything close to what this is, 1.25 billion brazen with it, man, he would not only be all over the internet, he would be in prison right now as the ex-president of the United States. He'd be in prison. So let's not make excuses. Let's stop all that hemming and hawing and pretending like if it didn't happen on the other side, it would be good. Well, I don't know what his personal thing is. You don't have to know. If he did it, they would have came out with it. Somebody would have snitched on his ass, and his ass would be in prison. Let's go. Let's find out what he just did. $1.2 billion in gold.
He stole. I mean, he stole their own resources and profited hundreds of millions and put it in a private bank account. This is fucking unconscionable, and this is unheard of. We've always had corruption to one extent or another in our politics. Never, ever, ever to this extreme extent. Just not the case. It's just not the case. Just to find this degree of corruption is impossible because people usually try to cover their tracks to one extent or another. People usually try to have some plausible deniability around it. Now he's just letting it rip, dog. He's just letting it rip.
We are becoming like a third world country. You know what? All countries have corruption, but I used to only hear about this level of corruption in like Africa or different third world countries where it would be like even Mexico, like Cuba, this type of corruption stuff where you're taking the money from the oil that you use the U.S. government to recover and to attack this country to be able to take 1.92 barrels and somehow move it into your own personal account. That used to be something that only happened in like those type of third world countries. Now Trump is actually making America like a third world country. And if Barack Obama did anything close to this, trust me, it would be national news. You can't tell me otherwise.
At the same time, all that's going on, massive budget cuts for U.S. science proposed again by Trump administration. It's an extinction level event for science. The U.S. government is proposing massive cuts to almost every branch of science from NASA to the National Institute of Health. NSF would completely eliminate the Social, Economic, and Behavioral Sciences Directorate. This would decimate the world's leading scientific system. So as you can see here, okay, NASA goes from 24.4 billion all the way down to 18.8 billion. The National Institutes of Health goes from 47.2 billion all the way down to 41.3 billion. The National Science Foundation goes from 8.8 billion to 4 billion. Department of Energy Office of Science goes from 8.4 billion to 7.1 billion. National Institute of Standards and Technology goes from 1.8 billion to 900 million. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration goes from 6.2 billion to 4.5 billion. The EPA goes from 8.8 billion to 4.2 billion. This is, like they say, an extinction level event when it comes to science and technology. And understand something. It's on purpose.
Was Hillary the president under Obama?
No.
So what the fuck are you talking about, Kiefer? Shut up. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. She wasn't the president. We're talking about presidency.
They are basically destroying the United States' ability to become to be a science hub. And just like we saw with Doge and Elon Musk, they cut pediatric cancer research, they cut Meals on Wheels, they cut USAID, they cut all these long-term scientific studies, which were basically trying to get us cures. There was one of these studies had a promising cure for cancer, and they fucking cut the funding on it. I'm not even kidding about that. It sounds literally like comic book villain type shit. It actually happened in real life. That's what they did.
And you know what's really happening across the globe is that they're coming up with cancer cures. China's coming up with cancer cures. I think Japan coming up with like different places, coming up with stuff to like cure missing teeth and all type of stuff. They are becoming scientific hubs while we are declining, becoming a third world country. Either why would a president take away funding to making us the nation with all this innovation? Why would we take that funding away? Like, what is going on? Why would he take the funding away for that?
And so now they're like, fuck it. Let's shoot the dead horse. Let's do it. Like, let's just gut this thing to the high heavens. And that's what they're doing. Also, at the same time all that's going on, Trump administration is proposing eliminating LIHEAP, which helps low-income families pay utility bills at a time of soaring energy prices. This will kill people. LIHEAP literally keeps the air conditioning on in blazing Phoenix summers for low-income seniors and families and keeps those on colder climates from freezing during the winter. This is what he's doing. So at the same time all that's going on, ask for $1.5 trillion for the Pentagon, for the military, even though they can't account for 63% of their own money. It's a massive slush fund. It's a giveaway to the Epstein class, the top 1%, the billionaires and the corporations. He goes, give me $1.5 trillion so we can...
So he wants to take all this money to back up Israel in this war. Meanwhile, he's getting rid of cancer research, medical research, all type of science that would advance us as a civilization and actually make us have something that a cure of something that we probably could like eke out to the whole world if we actually created one. Yeah. And then make money. He's saying no, bump that. Let's fund the military.
I don't know who this guy is,
but his whole objective is because he wants to be a dictator. He wants to be the king, and he probably wants his son to become his successor, or some kind of weird ass like thing that they probably had in some room where they were wearing robes or some shit like that with a goddamn symbol on the wall. Whatever the fuck kind of weird ass shit they're into. Like, why would this be the way to go? Somebody had a meeting and said, listen, United States have to fall. Asia has to be the next power because it's your turn's over. You guys have had 200 years. It's now time for Asia. Take all the funding out. Just do a war, become a third world, and let Asia shine. Because right now, Asia is coming up with all type of fucking cures right now. But then we just sent some people up into the moon, faking another fake ass mission to the moon. You know, how much billions of dollars with that bullshit? You know, just crazy. Why are we going to the moon during a fucking war? Why is that important to go to the moon when there's a war? Unless you're trying to create a laser up there that's going to shoot down laser beams for the war, I don't understand why we're going to the moon.
Well, we got poverty on Earth. I don't know why. I don't understand it either.
Exactly. So we need to be realistic about what's happening here on this earth in America. There is something happening. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know what it is. But something is going on.
Make a whole bunch of fucking fighter jets and drones and shit that the Iranians are going to blow up in 7 seconds. That's what he wants the money for. Give me all the money so that we can waste it murdering elementary school girls in Iran. And fuck your home heating assistants. You can freeze to death. Fuck your cancer research. You can die. And also, while I'm at it, I'm going to steal $1.25 billion and rub it in your face that I'm doing that. for my fake fucking Board of Peace, which, by the way, ironically, launches the Board of Peace, immediately starts like 7 new wars. Funny how that works, isn't it? The guy who is chastising the world and berating the world and scolding them, going, why don't you fucking give me the Nobel Peace Prize? Immediately starts a whole bunch of wars. What happened? The prestigious FIFA Peace Award went to Trump, and then all of a sudden, he's bombing 130 fishermen in the Caribbean. All of a sudden, he's abducting world leaders and stealing natural resources from other countries. All of a sudden, he's talking about bombing Mexico and stealing Panama and stealing Greenland and doing war with Iran and bombing Nigeria. And now they invaded Ecuador. I don't know why, but they did. So here we are. This is where we are now. So just an absolute horrendous scenario. And people need to wake up to what they're witnessing here. This is the crime spree of all crime sprees. I've never seen such a wildly unhinged and insane, openly, brazenly corrupt regime that's just letting it all hang out like this.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm.
I just want to give a shout out.
So Jake Paul went on Theo Von's podcast.
I'm sorry.
What's his name? It's pretty good.
His name, okay, it's Secular Talk. He
good.
He probably doesn't show up on the algorithm because he doesn't. He got shadow banned a long time ago, and he gets 100% of his thing from the crowd, people that watch him. And I like to support him because he's actually a good. His name is Kyle Kalinske.
But he I love his energy, but he got to be like that across the board. He can't just go at one side. When you start doing that just at one side, I could ride with you, but with a grain of salt, because you got a narrative. It might be anti-democrat. It might be.
I think he pretty much. I mean, across the. If you're saying if it's some bullshit, he's gonna talk about it. Like he right now he's talking about Drewski and how the one guy is trying to do blackface because of Drewski's Erica Kirk situation. So he covers all types of different news, and if it's bullshit, he gonna let you know about it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think black people should do whiteface. I think it's a double standard because if the white people do blackface, they get called out. They get called racist, even though it might not mean the same thing. But I just think I think it should go both ways. I don't agree with what Drewski's doing.
You know what? White people have done blackface for a long time. There's a whole on top of just regular blackface they did back in the 1920s or whatever it is. They just had a movie called Tropical Thunder. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of blackface that's still going on still to this day. We need to cut that out.
No. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
Tropical Thunder was a whole blockbuster movie. This guy did a 10-minute, less than 10-minute snippet of I think
it should go both ways. I think they should, from this point on, moving forward, like you said, we're in 2025, 2026, whatever. Moving forward,
we're not in 2025. We're definitely in 2026. Let's not.
No. I'm saying.
Let's be real about what time it is.
Moving forward, 2026. Moving forward, nobody should do blackface or whiteface. That just kills that whole debate.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that comedy is comedy. People should do whatever they want to do, and people need to lighten up. All this bullshit running in the world, people dress up as babies in comedy skits. People dress up as all type of different things. People make fun of they might be making fun of Trump, so what the fuck? Now we're immune to being made fun of, or white people are immune.
Oh no, you're making fun of an individual.
Listen, comedy is comedy. People need to get their panties out of a bunch. You know what I'm saying? We need to cut it out.
But you gotta understand, people are more sensitive now.
Was it funny? I don't listen. That's the problem. Listen, I'm from Generation X. I don't give a just shut up about people's feelings. People need to stop being bitches.
Yeah,
all that crying and stuff like that. Was it funny though? Did you see the point where he made his point?
Yeah,
people need to calm down, bro. That comedy is actually the thing that make you laugh. That if you stop taking everything so goddamn serious and getting so offended, that's the thing. We had a whole cancel culture back in the early 2000s where everybody was getting canceled, right? That was during the Democrat time, all the canceling. When the whole if you said anything, everybody canceled you. We need to lighten up, bro. That's what our problem is. We take everything. It's like everybody got that. What's it called? they're too sensitive X or some shit like that. They had a like thing called that. People sensitive. And I think there's a lot of neurodivergent, overly sensitive people that just don't know how to take a joke and they need to like just go talk to their therapist. The shit was funny to me. They did a great job on the makeup. You know what I'm saying? He showed the part where she kept looking into the camera like that. That was hilarious.
He's all right. I don't think he's that funny.
Lighten up on comedy. I used to be a comedian. That's why I'm really hardcore about this. Like, please don't try to like stunt my comedy. You know what I'm saying? Part of comedy is taking something real and exaggerating it. That's what comedy is.
If you're doing a specific character, like if I'm dressing up as Trump or whatever, I understand that, but I'm talking about just the whole blackface wife, only because they're making an issue out of it. Like, so
what? That's the problem. Is everybody want to fold to what people's issue is? What about Nutty Professor, part 1, 2, and 3, where he making fun of the fat guy?
I didn't.
So we stopped doing that now too.
I didn't think that was that funny anyway.
It wasn't funny, but he did it. Blockbuster.
Eddie Murphy?
What about Tyler Perry? He made $1 billion dressed up as an old grandma woman.
Yeah, that's corny too.
You understand? Yeah. It might be corny to you, but it's funny to some other people. People need to like listen. It's not listen. What I eat don't make you shit, and we need to calm down and stop being so damn butthurt about everything. Every little thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets so hurt about every little thing. I don't think Erica Kirk was even pissed off. But guess what? We found out Erica Kirk was an ex-Mossad agent. That's what we did find out. Y'all heard about that?
She was a what?
Ex-Mossad agent.
I heard something.
He was called a honeypot. Yeah. So, it was more about just Erica Kirk and not white people. You know what I'm saying? Making fun of her. But everybody wants to make it about race so bad because they're overly sensitive.
Only because they was coming.
He made fun of Dominican, like that black people that pretend like they're Dominican. He made fun of all type of different stuff other than Erica Kirk. But nobody said nothing when he did the whole thing where he would pretend like he was a white guy at the truck thing, whatever he was doing at the NASCAR race. They got mad at that. Overly sensitive. But remember, he was making fun of all type. He made fun of the Hebrew Israelites. He makes fun of everybody. But now, because it's this, we gotta that's too much now. Y'all, people, listen, we too sensitive. We a bunch of bitches up in here. Everybody need to stop being a bunch of bitches and bitching out about stuff and crying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I kind of agree, yeah.
Everybody growing up, like when they fail, they mama just was like, oh Lord, no. Honey, when I fail, my mom let me just get over with it. You know what I'm saying? You all right? Get up. Stand up and keep on playing. Stop all that crying,
Some people don't recover from their failures.
Erica Kirk. Yeah, that's that. Erica KKK. That's interesting. I didn't notice that. Erica KKK. Erica Kirk. Yeah. It's probably not even her name. That's what's crazy. Like I said, Iran is putting out all type of stuff. They showing Trump's pictures with kids and all type. I played a little bit of it earlier in my last live. Go ahead and watch it. When he first came out with the craziness. Go ahead and watch that. But we need to stop being such bitches up here and crying about little stuff. Martin Luther, back in Def Comedy Jam, y'all couldn't have existed. But back in my time, the comedy was so out of control. Like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, the comedy was out of control. There was no holds barred. You could call somebody a midget, you know what I'm saying? All type of different stuff. Everybody now it's like, no, I'm a little person. Yeah. Oh, don't say retarded. Don't say this word. Everybody's so damn sensitive.
Yeah, the world is. Yeah,
it means mentally challenged. Like, dude, I grew up during the time frame where all those words existed. Now all those things are taboo to say because people got overly sensitized about it, and everybody's just super sensitive about every little thing and can't take a joke. People need to calm down with that shit and laugh. Find the funniness, man. She did do that. She was talking and looking into the camera, real creepy looking. Come on now, she did that. So yeah, bro. All right, listen, I've been here for an hour and almost 30 minutes. What's your final words, Barack Obama? Let's like wrap this up. It's like,
world peace. You know, that's what I want.
That's what I want too. Yes, go ahead. Say some final words about everything.
No. I mean, well, Trump looks a little bit like a chump because he didn't follow through. It looks bad on him. He doesn't look like a strong lead. He looks weak because he's not following through on what he's saying. But I'm not surprised because he's always been a hypocrite anyway.
You know what's so crazy? Remember they said that if Kamala gets in the office, they're gonna kill us because Kamala's not gonna be strong enough to do what needs to be done.
Well, only thing I would say about her, if she would have become president, I wouldn't have mind having like Obama as an advisor, even if she had to pay him, if he's willing to do that. Because he probably
would have. Who knows? He probably would have. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know,
he walked in those shoes, so he has an idea. Like he has an idea that most of us, and I don't want to speak for you when I make this statement, but he walked the shoes that most of us haven't. So he would have been a good advisor for her. If she. Well,
listen. You know what? I'm tired. Even though this has been about an hour and 30, I was already up here for like 3 hours and 30.
Yeah. I saw you. I was following you, but I didn't log on.
So this actually got to about 4 hours and.
Sometimes I cut my computer on. I just cut out.
Yeah, I was waiting to see what was going to happen. You know, I was like, man, I hope this shit don't go down the way I think it is. Man, please go ahead and watch my other video. But also, I think Mel might be on. Please support his channel, Watching the World. He might be on there right now.
Yeah, I was actually when you was on. I was on Tuesday.
Millennial says women can become president without a man backing her. You know what that is, right? You know that is misogynistic to say, well, he just need a man she would just need an advisor.
I think he's only. I would have said the same thing if it was Hillary. If she would, let's say Hillary.
But what woman was advising except for his wife? I'm sure his wife was behind it.
No, I'm just countering his comment. I'm just saying, even if it was Hillary, that was instead of Obama and Kamala got in, I would have said Hillary. It has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with walking the walk. So I don't know if he misunderstood my point, but I'm just clarifying.
Well, now that he said that, I was like, oh, okay, a man needs to be able to advise the woman on what the right thing to do is. I think that she probably could have. I don't know. I agree with him a little. Whoever that is. That did kind of come up. Now that I think about it, it's like, I wasn't thinking about it first. I was like, yeah, but now
I wish he would have cammed up, man, because it would have been the more the merrier on conversation. But
who, me?
No, him. I'm whoever that because I've been seeing him popping up a lot. YLD Millennium.
Yeah, he comes up every once in a while.
No, I wish he would have came up tonight. It would have been. But let me go. I gotta get out of here. I gotta make a couple of calls. Listen, I appreciate it when you let me cam up.
Yeah, I appreciate you for coming up.
Yeah. So let me get out of here. Good night, everybody. Peace.
All right, peace, guys. All right.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better. Just know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. I'll give myself. Only you can make the change. I'll give myself. Shine your head at you. I'll give myself. Shine so bright from darkness to light. Hey. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way.